Welcome to Mondays at Microsoft, where we break down the next 2 weeks across the Microsoft world for you with this special focus on AI business solutions, security, and Power Platform. I'm Karuana Gatimu, the director of the Customer Advocacy Group for AI and Collaboration, and I'm joined by my good friend.
Hello, I am Heather Cook, Principal Community Evangelist for Microsoft 365 Customer Advocacy Group as well. Good morning, Caruana. How are you?
Good morning. I'm, reasonably well.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
I
here
know.
at 5. I
Coffee,
have my lip gloss. These are all good things, right? Had a little coffee.
100%. Yeah, yeah, I know. I'm in. Yep. Good morning, everybody. Hello, listeners. Hello from all over the world. Yay. So,
Yeah, fantastic. And we have a special guest today, which I am very excited about. We're joined by a major champion and evangelist and developer and so many things from the Microsoft 365 and Power Platform community, Vesa Juvonen. Hey, Vesa, thanks for joining us.
Hello, Karuana and Heather. So quick intros. I'm a Vesa Juvonen. I'm a principal product manager from Microsoft. I also work as the MVP lead for the Microsoft 365 development area, and I'm responsible of the OneDrive and SharePoint developer activities across the world. So open source communities, documentation, a lot of that stuff as well. Samples, because we all need them. Super excited to drop by to talk about the SharePoint Hackathon 2026, which starts in early March.
woo. Thank you, Vesa.
We're going to get to hear more about that. That is awesome.
Absolutely. We're thrilled to have you here. Yay. And it's just, it's so great. So let's get into what's going on for the rest of our segment here. We have got a look at SharePoint 25, y'all, a digital event celebrating SharePoint's 25th birthday and the SharePoint Hackathon that Vesa was just mentioning. We're also going to look at how AI-powered apps built on Microsoft Azure are empowering small business owners in Kenya. What else, Caruana?
We'll be taking a closer look at the Microsoft 365 Community Conference, which you can expect by attending this year in Orlando. And a new CEO for Microsoft Gaming, who's stepping into this role to provide leadership over Xbox Game Studios, Activision, Blizzard Entertainment, and so much more. We want to give a shout out and a big thank you, as always, to our sponsor, Sure.
Absolutely. For sure. Say that all the time to them. They're like, we get it, Heather.
I
But
know,
anyway.
right? It's not that it's like the first time somebody, tells you what your name rhymes with, and you're like, yeah, I get that.
Got it. Yep, totally. Yeah, for sure. Haha. Okay, so we're going to get into our question of the day. So if you're watching live today from YouTube or LinkedIn or Facebook, we invite you to answer the question in the chat. So in reference to the 25, what was the first version of SharePoint you either helped install or worked with? So let us know in the chat, and we can also talk about that a little bit at the end. So we'll come back to them. And while you answer, we're going to dive into Microsoft's big rocks, which helped shape the AI landscape. So I should say this with my sports announcer to the Olympics voice, the ultimate Microsoft 365 community event returns. Microsoft 365 Community Conference is coming up in Orlando in April 21st to the 23rd, 2026. So the event brings together IT pros, developers, business leaders, community organizers from around the world to explore what's next across Microsoft 365, Copilot, and AI-powered productivity. The focus this year is on real-world impact, how AI is transforming collaboration, strengthening security, and helping teams get more done today. So you can expect lots of technical sessions, amazing keynotes, practical customer stories, and some hands-on learning with Microsoft experts and trusted community voices, meaning the product team and engineering teams and our Microsoft MVPs will be there. Very excited about that. So if you're building solutions, managing environments, or just want to stay ahead of what's next, it's one to check out. Keynotes have been announced. The session schedule is going live within the next 2 weeks. We're really excited about the show, so you can register and use that Save 150 for $150 off. So very excited. And we're going to celebrate SharePoint at 25 there as well. But first, we've got some cool things coming up for you that Caruana wants to talk to you about, and they're going to be super cool coming up here on March 2nd. So
March 2nd, 3 to 26, which is
Yes.
25 years exactly from the public launch of SharePoint, which, Heather and I have been talking about this. I've had a chance to talk to many community members and people inside Microsoft. SharePoint changed the world for so many of us. And we are thrilled to be celebrating its 25th birthday with a global digital event. You can save your seat right now. More than 1 billion people rely on SharePoint every month and to turn information into impact. And we're going to celebrate that, plus share with you everything new that we are bringing into the product for this era of AI. I've seen these features. I'm using these features. You are going to want to come and see the live demo. So you have to register for this event. Like, come and join us because it's a celebration of everything SharePoint has meant to us and has done for us. And remember, SharePoint is still the cornerstone as the governed content layer for all Copilot experiences under OneDrive and Loop and Teams and all of the things that you know and love about collaboration. SharePoint is at the heart of that. And so we're going to talk about that. And then afterwards, we have a live Ask Microsoft Anything where those product people are going to come and answer your questions, any questions that you have about SharePoint. We're so excited about this. And you'll get to see a promo of the short film that we're making about the actual SharePoint community. I'm so excited to get to produce that. It's an honor. My team gets to work on this with marketing and product and all these wonderful people. And so we're going to be kicking off the SharePoint hackathon to that day. And Vesa is going to come and share with us, he's been leading the way in the SharePoint developer community for a very long time. And I know that you are excited about this hackathon that is coming up. So we want to make sure to hear directly from the man who's going to run it. So Vesa, come and talk to us about this. It's a hackathon.
Absolutely.
It's a fun community event. Tell us what this is all about.
Absolutely. So SharePoint Hackathon is going to be kicked off at the 2nd of March. So within that 25th anniversary event, and it's going to be running 2 weeks. So from Monday to 2 weeks forward on Monday. And as part of that hackathon, we have 6 additional live streams with the feature crew members doing there to showcase the latest and greatest on SharePoint portals and mobile experiences, SharePoint framework, and all of that stuff. So not just developer stuff, even though hackathon sounds like a developer. No. This is also for end users, designers, architects, and so on. So you don't have to write code. What we're looking for is a submission within the 6 different categories. And 6 different categories are divided from a design, functionalities, AI usage to developer side of the house. So it's all about you designing a solution with whatever is the thing what you built on doing. It could be a Copilot Studio with SharePoint. It could be SharePoint, beautiful looking SharePoint portal. Recording a video explaining what your submission is all about, what were you thinking, what is the objective of the submission, and then share that as part of the submission. So combination of live streams, community engagement in a GitHub, where we're going to have a discussion, and then of course your submissions, and then the winners will be announced 25th of March with a celebration event as well.
That is so and I love that you called out that there's a place for everyone in this hackathon. I got my start as a builder and a maker, doing integrations, building sites, customizing things. And with AI now, it's even easier to be able to do that. So I'm just thrilled. Everybody has a place in the community, but also especially in this hackathon. Thank you for all the work you're doing on this. It's a huge lift on top of your day job. So
thank you, Karuana, helping there as well. So there's a lot of work being done on 25th anniversary behind the scenes. So thank you for the whole team. So thank you for that.
Yes, it is. But I have to pinch myself sometimes. I was sitting there the other day interviewing Jeff, and it was like, wow, I'm here. I was just there. I was just outside at Skechers building the site. And Heather and I have talked about this too. It's played such a role in our careers. So we're happy to celebrate this birthday and to be able to do it together.
That's awesome. And I want to give a shout out to Vesa too, because one, you're so fun to work with. It's been forever, by the way, and love seeing you jump off of desks like he does. And also just thank you for the real push on around the community, all the calls, like you don't all know this, but Vesa works with so many of our community members on all of these calls. A lot of them are weekly. Okay. A weekly lift, if creating content and doing shows is really huge. And so I just thank you for doing that. It's super cool. And you've done it for such a long time. And I know people appreciate it. So just, it's a cool, like, give Vesa some flowers on that one for sure. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
Yeah. And we're all going to be in Cologne together. as well
That is true.
for
The European Collaboration Summit.
European Collaboration Summit, which Vesta is also we've worked on forever. So all three of us are going to be there, plus Adam Harmit. My goodness.
I know
So,
it's going to be great. We're going to have such a good time there.
We're going to have a great time. So anyway, but yeah, shout outs around. You know me. I like to do that stuff. So Vesta, thank you so much.
We love you for that, Heather. It's very important. Very
Absolutely.
important.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so on top of all the SharePoint 25 and Microsoft 365 Community Conference, you know, we mentioned another show. We got a lot going on, y'all, always. And so I should probably get my script back up so I can talk to you about that. But
I think we're going to talk about big bites now. I think.
Are you? What's next?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you are. You're next. You do it.
I know.
Yeah.
Look, you're going to tell me what's now we know what's on my radar in case any of you have missed it.
Yes.
This story is near and dear to my heart. Some of you may not know that my father is from Kenya. And so I am excited to talk about from beards to bites. And this is how AI is empowering small business owners in Kenya, which is a huge part of their economy. In Nairobi, a growing number of small businesses are proving how AI can actually drive impact on the ground. Mandevu is a men's beard care brand, and Master Stylist Hair Salon and Barbershop are seeing business boom thanks in part to Anui, an AI-powered app built on Microsoft Azure that turns mobile money statements into actionable business insights. So this was created by a Nairobi-based startup, Fastiger, and deployed inside Safaricom's M-Pesa super app. If anybody's been on that continent, you know how important M-Pesa is. And Inui uses tools like optical character recognition and Microsoft small language models to transform PDF transactions records into usable data. No IT staff, folks. No IT staff is required for this. This is for business owners, and ones like Mandevu found Joki Jorege that clarity means better decisions, simpler operations, and more time to focus on growth. So let's take a quick look at this and see what's happening. There's a video, I think. And if not, I'll just keep going. That's okay. Thousands of businesses are already signed up, and Anui shows how Microsoft-powered AI is really designed to work on device and even offline. And so that's important because, you know, in many places in the world, you don't always have connectivity. So solutions need to really provide this offline mode as well. So you have to go check out this article. It's got all of the details, and it's just really incredibly interesting. There's been lots of changes going on. I think we're just going to keep seeing them. Heather, don't you have a story to tell us? I believe Heather has a story to tell us about the gaming industry. You know, for those of you who've been following us for a long time, and I'm going to fill because this is the moment that our producer's computer chose to reboot, because, you know, it wouldn't be a live show unless that happened. But let's see if I can switch myself back. Hey, look, I can be my own producer, and I'm going to add you back to the stage here, and we're going to do some action like that. There we go. See, things, I can actually make things happen. I can't roll the video, but I can get you back, Heather.
Oh, that's awesome. All good. Yeah. No, I saw that story about Kenya, and I was like, oh, yay. I was like, because you're from there. Yeah, your parents, your dad's from there.
It is, absolutely. So
cool
why don't you tell us about the other one, and I am going to switch banners for us.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. So yeah, exciting news in the gaming world. So, you know, obviously gaming has been a part of Microsoft's story from the very beginning. You know what? And I didn't know this until I read this article. Xbox is celebrating its 25th year as well, along with SharePoint.
Oh, really?
I did not know that. I know.
Huh.
I was like, how did I not know that? So anyway, so there you go. So we got 225s coming up here from Microsoft, which is super cool. So, you know, gaming's really been a part of, you know, the story from the beginning, from Flight Simulator, you know, shipping with Windows back in the day, to DirectX, you know, helping define these modern graphics that are being used, and just to the accelerated compute era that we're in today. So as Xbox celebrates its 25th, gaming is continuing to grow and evolve, and now it's reaching more than 500 million monthly active users. Wow. And operating as a top publisher across platforms, content, hardware, community in service of players and creators everywhere. So looking ahead to this next chapter, this last week, we announced a leadership transition. So Asha Sharma will step into the role of Executive Vice President and CEO of Microsoft Gaming. She brings deep experience in scaling global consumer platforms, and she'll lead the business into this next era of growth and innovation. And at the same time, Matt Booty has been named Executive Vice President and Chief Content Officer, continuing his leadership of nearly 40 game studios across Xbox, Bethesda, Activision, Blizzard, and King, home to some of the most iconic franchises in gaming. The moment also marks the transition of Phil Spencer, who just announced his retirement after more than 38 years at Microsoft and 12 years leading gaming. So, Phil's impact on the industry, from expanding gaming across PCs, mobile, and cloud, and shaping the portfolio, is super profound. And he'll continue to support the team with a smooth handoff, of course. And so, just with extraordinary creative talent, a global platform, renewed focus on players and creators, Microsoft Gaming is positioned for what comes next. And I'm super excited for Sharma and just the entire team. So this is just a great thing that's coinciding with their anniversary birthday as well, too. So kind of cool.
It is. And, I do want to call out the fact that many people have followed Phil and that team for a very long time. We want to honor Phil. I know the change can be stressful and scary, and it seems a little bit abrupt, but these things are always planned, at least to some extent, inside of Microsoft. And so, yes, we are excited to see what Asha is going to do next. And she wrote quite a nice blog about that and her commitment to the gaming community. So, we definitely honor Phil and his team, but, good days can be ahead. And so we'll be excited to see what Asha does.
Absolutely. So cool. We're going to get into our product segment now.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Okay, let us talk here. How many things can I do at one time? Because now my mouse isn't working.
I think like 40.
Okay, that's what's happening here. I don't know why now my mouse decided not to work. Okay, we're going to talk about Kantar though, because look, anybody who's ever dealt with IT knows that cost management is an issue. You need to be able to manage the costs that you have in your environment. That is expected from an IT pro perspective. And Kantar moved a lot of content into Microsoft 365 to power its Copilot and AI experiences, but it found that its storage costs went up when it did that. And so they used Microsoft 365 Archive to reduce costs. This is important because long ago in my IT career, I learned that it's important to have the right content available to people, not necessarily every piece of content you've ever created. Archive and deletion is just as important as where things get created. And so they were able to archive more than 40,000 sites. That's right, folks. 40,000 sites, nearly 100 terabytes of data. And that really provided, a smart life cycle, because it is about lifecycle management, right? There's the creation and the access and the permissions, but then there's archival and deletion. Very, very important, especially if you happen to be in a regulated industry. So check out this story from our friend Michael Holste from Product Management, who's talking about what Kantar has done. And, think about what your data lifecycle is doing as you go through the process of making that transition, because of course we definitely want your content in Microsoft 365. It is safe, it is secure, it has boundaries and data governance. That is absolutely essential for you to trust your AI experiences. But you don't want to have to pay for every single thing you've ever created, right? Unlike my closet, you want to archive things.
I whipped out a hard drive, as you all saw last week, because I was looking for pictures and stuff for the SharePoint birthday, and I was like, does anybody know what this is? People were like, I was like, it's a hard drive.
Yeah.
Plug it
Only
in.
people in media knew what it was because we carry our video footage around on it. Yours was pretty big. They're littler now.
Yeah. No, they're teeny. A terabyte is like on this or whatever. So yeah, it's kind of wild. But speaking of that, and I know you and I've been talking about this, Karuana, is that with all of you in the community, the next couple of weeks leading up the digital event and all year, we're excited to, celebrate SharePoint and do some of the nostalgia and look back a bit. And so as you're thinking about it and getting registered for SharePoint 25, if you on social media want to use that hashtag SP at 25 and then hashtag community LUV love, that's what we look for out on social posts. We put those Izzy and Jennifer, who are our board members for MGCI, they look for those when we're putting stories into the MGCI newsletter. And so we'll be looking for those as well. And those of you who would like to have, if you're writing blogs or LinkedIn posts or have an article that you're putting out about, the SharePoint history. I know Diego, one of our, MVPs, he's got a great series that he just is putting out. So we've got http:// aka.ms community social. Anybody can add your posts there, and we will feature them on our Microsoft LinkedIn channel. The Microsoft Community LinkedIn channel that has almost 30,000 subscribers. So really excited about that. So I'm going to put a post up. Watch for my LinkedIn today. I'm going to put a post up about that so you can follow along and all of that. And people are doing watch parties. The Chicago MVP and user group crew have already got their watch party all set up for the digital event. Michael Blumenthal, another MVP, has been leading that charge. So Chicago's got it ready. So, encourage that, like get people together and do a watch party. Super fun for that wonderful digital event. So also getting back into the Power Platform space, business applications, another really great video series that's put on by that team. It's called Keeping It Real, or, keeping IT real. Right? You can do both there with that fun play on words, but you can check out episode 8 of Keeping It Real, where host Leon Wyliki sits down with Brian Hodel from T-Mobile to talk about building and running a Power Platform solutions truly at scale. Brian shares how we went from he was early Power Apps adopter. I remember this from my days over there, but he started experimenting, which led to Orbit, which is T-Mobile's go-to-market platform. It's used by thousands of employees, and there's demos of how he's using Dataverse and Generative Pages, GitHub Copilot to build scalable and intuitive apps faster than ever. So if you're designing in Power Platform solutions for large user bases, it's a really great episode of a how-to from an enterprise customer, which is super cool. So yeah, that leads us into our community and events segment. And you can check out all of our community events in the Microsoft ecosystem up on communitydays.org. So with that in mind, I wanted to give a shout out to a couple of amazing events coming up. We've got Knoxville Microsoft Community Days coming up here in Maryville, Tennessee. Daniel Glenn, who's one of our MGCI board members, always does such a good job with all of those wonderful events in Tennessee, and Neil and Pab DeGraffenried as well. West Michigan M365 Community Days coming up in Grand Rapids. I am super excited. I am a Mitten sister. I am from Michigan, and I am going to keynote and do a Women in Tech panel at this event. I'm so excited to go back home. My Michigan is coming out a little bit with my voice, but super excited about that. DynamicsCon Regional Pacific Northwest is March 20th, coming up in Vancouver, BC, and Canada. So those are just a few things that are coming up here in March and rounding out February. We also have the Microsoft 365 Community Conference, of course, as we've been talking about. Lots of blogging and keynotes announced, and each week there's going to be a product highlight of all of the sessions that are coming out. I know that our producers are doing webinars. There's all kinds of things going on with this. It's really cool. And then we had some events that just happened. There's a huge list as usual. Miami, that's a great event. Emily Mancini works on that event, does such a great job there. And AICD, they have tons of events going on. Dubai and Maria, the Power Platform Boot Camp. And then the Vibe Conference, which was a new conference that I heard everybody was like, this is amazing. And it was really focused on Microsoft partners. Cloud Tech Talent is always a great event. They put on such a great show there. Those just happened. And then coming up, we got a bunch more stuff happening and things that are getting listed every day. Like we said, Knoxville, West Michigan, DynamicsCon. There's Shanghai coming up, Community Days Quebec also. So lots of things coming up in what is it? March? Yeah, coming up in March and April. So lots of good stuff there. And I think that leaves us time to get back into our question of the day, Caruana, if we want to come in and take a look at those. But shout outs to all of
Yes.
our producers and user group leaders who have built this beautiful SharePoint community into the Microsoft 365 community over the years. Like, you are the backbone of so many of these great events and everything that's going on. So yay.
Yeah.
So
There's
question
no
of the day.
doubt about that, for sure. Let's
Yeah.
see what folks had to say about when they started. What first version of feature that you started working with? Did you help install it? Did you work with it? And we want to bring back Vesa for this as well, so that he can participate in this fun little chat, because there's going to be some awesome chat out there. We'll put something up on the screen.
I'm totally
And
like, you know me, I'm like on my phone. I'm like, all right,
I
who's
know. I was
saying
going to
what?
say, Vince, what was yours? I'm interested to know. What was your first
So
thing that you
I
did?
feel like a junior because in my case it was 2006 October when I joined Microsoft and without any previous knowledge on SharePoint, and then it came to be a SharePoint 2007. So
Oh, I see. Okay, fantastic. But that's when I started with it too, for sure.
Yep.
Oh, we got Nasha out there. SP 2007. Yeah, a lot of people involved in that. I do. My claim to fame is that I had a SharePoint farm installed in my apartment, because that's how I was teaching myself on the weekends, because I didn't want to do it obviously in production, and we hadn't built it all up at work yet, and we were still figuring it all out. So I built one at home. I'm not going to
That's how you
break it at
learn,
work.
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I did. And I recommend that everybody do that now. Have your own development tenant where you get a chance to be a global administrator. Go in and look at the admin center. All that's still very valid and relevant. It's different. We do it differently today,
Mhm.
but it's a great way to learn. First version for me was 2008, Deb. All right. Welcome to the family there, Deb. Moss,
my
remember Moss? Microsoft Office. I'm failing the acronym test. So what did Moss
Microsoft
stand for?
Office SharePoint Server. Yes, we put
Okay.
Office in front of it because it
Microsoft
was a
Office.
WSS, which was the what was that? Windows SharePoint Server was the free one,
That's right.
and MOSS was the paid one. So
Yes, that's right. That's right. I thought it was access on steroids. I totally agree with that. The
I
number
love
of
Access.
apps I know I loved Access too, but the number of apps I didn't have to build, because now I could build them in SharePoint, and not have to do so much of the database configuration, because I was a DBA before I was there.
Mhm. Yeah.
What's this one say, Vesa?
sorry,
SP 2008. Hey, learn this. Yeah. Hi.
Oh my
Sounds like
God.
Data Galbraith got jumped into the deep end like I did.
Yeah. There's a few people that have 2000. There's not as many 2003s, a little bit of 2001. And
Yeah.
I asked everybody if they knew the code name. That popped up as well. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Tahoe,
Extra
everybody.
points.
Yes.
Yeah. SharePoint Portal Server 01. Robert, you get the star for sure.
Yep. Yeah.
That is fantastic.
That was me too. That was me. September 2001 is when I started as a vendor consultant for Microsoft. So we were still saying Tahoe some, but
Yeah.
long time ago.
Exactly.
And
I saw
WSS,
3 before it went to 07 for sure. What did you say, Heather? Sorry.
Windows SharePoint Services, WSS
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
So I had a few people shouting that out on the chat too. So yeah, yeah.
Like
Have we
really went? I have to say, and then obviously 2007 big one, but then when the cloud happened, wow! And then
Yeah.
now we're heading to the age of AI. It's a similar kind of a massive leap forward on what's going to happen. So I think for me, it's always been the 2007, the
Yes.
cloud jump, and then
Yeah.
now we're in the verge of something else.
Mhm.
Again,
Yeah,
which is
those
really
big
cool.
milestones, like those kind of big those big moments of like, oh, this is really different. This is really
Yeah.
changing, for sure.
There's no
Yeah.
doubt about that. Yeah.
Yep.
The cloud, moving to the cloud. So by then I worked at Microsoft IT, and I worked on the team that moved all of Microsoft's content to the cloud with David Johnson. Shout out to David Johnson
Oh
and Sam
yeah.
Pearson, right? All the folks in IT who worked on that. And that was stressful. That was a lot of data at that time. Right.
Yeah.
I started with fixing the upgrade to SharePoint 2010. Yes. was a lot of that going on, because people, you have to plan upgrades, folks. You do have to plan them, no matter how
Oh
good
my
anybody
goodness.
you do. So
Yeah.
much anymore, because they just happen. Now you have to plan the user adoption. That's why we have adoption at Microsoft.com.
Yeah.
Gotta give
I have to
the
say,
plug.
nothing was more stressful than being a consultant in Microsoft and then taking care of customer upgrades on their servers during weekends, because that was the only time their server could be down. And then on Sunday afternoon, you're like, please work, please work.
Exactly. It was never 100% guaranteed, and there was a lot of stress in those days. I remember, because I would usually get, called in, myself or David or somebody, if something had gone wrong by somebody else usually, and then we had to fix it.
Yep.
And I did that for Teams, Skype for Business to Teams as well, and that was definitely weekend work.
Yeah, for sure. Robert Atkinson, we're not old, we're just wise. How about that?
Hey, we're experienced. We're not old. We're experienced. That is the word. I'm vintage. Okay,
Yeah,
I am
You
vintage.
appreciate the cloud differently when you don't have to worry about the servers. So let's put it this way.
Yes. No, I am so happy about that, because something happened to those servers, and boy, was it a problem. And all sorts of random things could happen when you're running servers. So I don't miss patching servers or updating or optimizing tables, or I don't miss any of that, right? WSS was a game changer for us, led to full SharePoint adoption. And folks, you're going to be really excited, because on March 2nd, when we have our digital event, we're also dropping a whole host of new demo videos, a new adoption kit. This is really important that people save their files in the right, in the place that they need to save them in SharePoint as they're creating content, because that also improves the AI experience with Work IQ. So we want folks to understand that SharePoint is underneath there, and there's still so much that you can do with that. I mean, I can't, break the seal of all the things we're going to show at the show, but you definitely want to come and see that. But yes, thank you, Aaron. We are definitely going to have a whole new set of resources, and we're dropping new demo videos about every week between now and the Microsoft 365 conference, when we'll also have another big moment for SharePoint as we get to celebrate together. So I hope that some of you come to that show so that you can see Vesa, Heather, and myself and all the people, and have a cupcake, because we're going to have cupcakes there or something.
Yes,
Heather will do something amazing. I don't know what she's doing, but she's going to do something cool.
We got to recreate that cake. I mean, like that cake, like we have to make that. We have to make that actual
the
cake.
real one. Yes, the
real
cake.
one.
Yes,
like I want to give that to a baker and be like, make this, because like, it's gorgeous, right? So
it's beautiful. I highly agree with that plan, because especially if it's chocolate with raspberry on the inside.
Oh, okay, good to know. We'll have to deal for the cupcakes too. Okay, that's awesome. I love it. Yay! And thank you as always to our MGCI board and our regional leads who are on, like Nesha and other folks who are, always doing our links and chatting and everything. We love having you on. So it's really fun to start the week with you. So thank you for
all that. Right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us for another Mondays at Microsoft. Don't forget, we love your feedback. Give us your feedback and tell us how you'd like us to plan future events. I have a feeling Vesa is going to be a hit. You're going to want us to have him back, and we would love to do that. And check out our show page so that you can add our ICS to your calendar and never miss an episode. You can also see us on demand and share with your friends. Our next show is Monday, March 9th, 8 a.m. Pacific, and we will see you then. Thank you for spending your Monday with us. We'll see you again soon.
Thanks, Vesa. Thanks, Karuana. Hi, everybody. Yay.